thirsty. Well, it's the third day, and that's the worst day. I'm thirsty. Huh. Practicing to sing for Jimmy, man. I'm gonna go audition for Jimmy. Huh. Hey, I don't know how I'll take that. I'll be like, I'm auditioning to replace you as the singer. No one's gonna stop me. I'm sure he'll be of good humor. Yo, Off Grid, I sent you the join in link, man. If you have any problem, email me. Oh, no, he doesn't have any problem. No one's gonna stop me. What's up, Off Grid?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
All right, man. We're live. We're live.
All right, just a second.
So, you got that collector, and you just came out. You hit over 1,000 tapes, and switch the name.
Hell yeah, like 1100. Hang on, my audio's not working yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got headphones, yeah. Here he is to save the day. I know that Mighty Mouse is on the way.
Now I can hear you.
Right on. What's up, Hobo? Thanks for coming back, bro.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can see the chat, but I'll totally read it. He just said here.
I can see it.
Okay. Sometimes,
Yeah,
and I don't want any guests to even worry about it.
Yeah, everything's good all over here. All right, cool. Chill. What's happening there, Joe? How's your day go?
It went fine, man. It went fine. I didn't do much, but prepare. But it went fine. My wife's going out of town tomorrow, so I don't know. That'll be like that'll be a busy day because she tends to put things aside and kind of forget. Good evening to you, Hobo.
Oh yeah.
So that I will have to have an active mind on. So, and I'm going out with my dad tomorrow too.
All right.
So everything's going well, but I was just preparing for that. You know what I mean? Today was not much of a day. I just did simple upkeep.
Right.
So you didn't make it to town to get your package, or it somehow crossed?
I was just checking on it because I've been watching for it, and I checked yesterday for it, but it wasn't there, and so I looked today to see what happened to it, and DHL said the package was undeliverable.
Right.
Whatever. DHL is not used to handing it over to USPS or something.
Right.
And so they're like, undeliverable, return to sender right away.
Oh.
Instead, they didn't try contacting me or anything, just return to sender.
Right. Yep. So yeah, that's terrible, man.
Yeah, the package came almost halfway around the world, and now it's going back. But it made it all the way to my town before they shipped it back. I thought they would hold it in a DHL place for like a week or something before they sent it back or something.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Cosmic? Yeah, around here, the population growth since like 2000 or whatever, they haven't had post office boxes available forever. So all those little retail places pop up because they just didn't keep building for the population to grow. They didn't keep building like USPS boxes. So we don't have
we got the UPS store here that does that with boxes.
Yeah, we have several retail stores that do that, but they have to. Like, there's no way around it, really. But DHL, certainly, they work with those places. You know what I mean? So you probably would have got it if it went through that channel.
They're like, oh, well, that's UPS. We know how to deal with them.
Right. So, yeah. They do. It's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were
I think it's just...
When I was in warehouse and shipping and logistics, DHL was literally like almost out of business. So for a couple weeks, we were sure it was gone. And it was on the radio and everything. So it wasn't just, because we knew it inside the industry. It was on the radio and everything. And all of a sudden, they recovered, I don't know. Thanks Silk Road and whatnot. You know what I mean? DHL's the one that can't carry all that shit. So,
right.
There's money to be made out there, man. You finished chapter 1. What were you reading? That's interesting. Hobo.
I read Hobo's little book for the chimes on my live the other day.
You did, yeah. So did
Yeah.
Cosmic. That is awesome, man. Yeah,
Right.
mine's a double tribute because Tooth says that people say it's weird how he decorates because he got the covering around the lights. Well, so do I. This one has a bag around it to diffuse it. So this is a double
Yes.
tribute. It's Tooth and Hobo right there. So
Nice.
double tribute.
Yeah, I got
And we
mine
like it
inside
because
now.
we like it. All of us like basically hit our heads on it. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And I've always liked what's behind you with the feathers and stuff. I don't know if there's something to that. You know, you got to tell me about that. But I've always loved that.
That's a dream catcher, kind of a cross with feathers and a dream catcher.
Okay. Okay.
Just a lot of some chicken feathers and some other bird feathers and some wild turkey feathers and stuff.
My wife has always collected the wild turkey feathers, you know, and for me, it's always been like you got to remember where you put them. You know, you got to tell me things like that, or batteries, or you know, all this sort of invasive, corrosive things. I gotta know because I got tons of stuff, so I got to know exactly where a liquid is, or a sugar, or a magnet. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I just can't randomly have a magnet with the thousands of tapes I have. It'll just take it right off. You know. I
Yeah,
know
I think
most
it's
people don't
funny.
think about that.
It's funny how some of the VHS are in better condition than others, and it really has nothing to do with what they look like. Like
Yeah.
you don't know
Yeah.
what the magnetic condition is on the film until you start watching it.
That's true. That's true.
I found a few that are got a little poppy and a little crackly and stuff, and the case was perfect. Even
Right, right, right,
that Star Trek Nemesis, I
right,
brand
right.
new.
Yeah, I just watched Deadlock. I'll send that to you. It's a post rental, so it's probably been watched 800 times. But you know, I just watched it. It's perfect. It's perfect. You know,
Right.
and that's amazing to me. You know.
Yeah, I think part of it was the tapes got real cheap after like the mid '90s, year 2000, whatever. They were just not the same anymore. I think the film wasn't the same either because they don't seem to hold up as good from what I've seen so
No,
far.
there's a different. It's not film, but it's a metal. So there's different processes to making tape. If you look at the tape, if it looks nice and shiny, then it's made with a higher quality metal. If it looks like red and ruddy, it's made with a cheap ferric oxide, and those will fall off just by playing. It'll fall off. So you know, tapes are
All
always
right.
they're always on a counter, you know, and when things are 30 years old, they're not supposed to work, but they do. You know what I mean? So we're fine. You know, I got
Right.
tapes from the 60s cassettes, you know, that they're fine. It's fresh out the box.
Thank you.
But hey, man, sometimes you look at a CD or a DVD sideways and it starts to skip. So I like the tapes. And they
Oh,
remember
they're
where you were. You can
all
go
my
back and watch
CDs
it
are
from the same second, bro.
all my CDs are dead.
Yeah, yeah. How'd that
Every
happen?
last. Well, I mean, they all got
Moisture?
scratched.
Oh,
No, they
okay. Yeah.
riding around in cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just they don't do good with that.
No. Well, it was one thing when they were real, real expensive, but once they went down, it makes it okay, you know.
Yeah,
You
the
ever find a
rewritables.
hospice store? Yeah, they have videotapes and music. It's so cheap there at a hospice store. But I don't know if you have one near.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
There
the
it is.
hospice is the palliative care, like the end of life care where they go to your home and So then the
Oh, okay.
families they'll
Yeah.
donate stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So the families will donate stuff that's been there for 80 years or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're so much cheaper at the time. Yeah, I know, man. I know. We all like the wind chimes and the merch.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's not cheap merch, man. It's got a moisture wicking thing here. It's a nice fabric and a nice print. The print's not going to come off. So who do you use, Hobo, if you don't mind, to make your merch? Because I want to make a couple shirts. You know, if they're print on demand, no harm.
It's probably the first shirt that's expensive, Joe. They were getting
Right.
the graphic and the design and whatever, and then after that, like the price probably goes down. But I bet
It
the
doesn't
first
work
one's
that
not.
way. It doesn't work that
Yeah,
because it's on demand printing, so it's not like they set up a press and then it gets cheaper per copy. You know, it's the same press. It's not. It's no thing. It's like you used to have options when you ordered records, right? Like when you were a producer on the
yeah.
label, and now you don't. They just use one format, and it's a full color format, and that's it. You know. So yeah, the printer situation is way different than it used to be.
Okay.
And sadly enough, all the major companies like media companies, book companies, and stuff, they went to the print on demand model that was already being used because it's cheaper. You know, it's cheaper, but it's also lower quality. You don't have books with they don't have sewing in the binding anymore, just glue. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have the quality
They won't last. Yeah. 100 years, they'll be toast. All of them.
for sure. Yeah, and I have books that are 129 years old. You know, and there's no issue with that. So
Yeah, I've got one that's like 160 years old.
that's awesome.
It's and it's doing fine
Yeah,
for it
yeah,
being it's a machinist handbook, and so it got handled by like 4 generations of the same family. All their names are in the back of it.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
shame. It's a crime that it didn't continue to get passed down in their family. They were from
Yeah, but you know how it
they were
is
from
when the
Kansas.
rush at the end of life. You know, I mean, people have to figure out what to do in a few weeks, and they lose a lot. Things fall through the cracks.
Yep.
Like my sister, I don't even know what the deal is, man. Like in my grandmother's house, my grandmother's passed. My uncle who lived there or had grew up there passed. My mother's passed. You know, they're all gone. So, but my sister talked to some local auctioneer. I want to go in there and grab some stuff and auction it off. And she's like, "Oh yeah, go ahead or whatever." And then everybody else is like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's like it's hard to handle that. You know,
Yeah.
you're all in the dark. My mother, like I, made so many personal agreements with people that nobody knows about that she left behind a whole mess. Some dude was living on that property that nobody else knew about because she was like, "Yeah, it's fine, you can live there."
Right.
Stuff like
Just move in. Yeah.
that.
You can
So
stay.
she and her mother were really wild, man. They would always like, I don't know, man. They like derelicts and outcasts, and they like to take care of them. You know, what's up, Fresh Prince? They always like they treat them like kittens, bro. They treated derelicts and outcasts like kittens. You know, they take care of
There's
them.
there's people out here like that gather people like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
They got
mean,
like
look,
campers in their yard and stuff for them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we have to make exchanges in life. You know what I mean? Like nobody can do this alone. Not really. You know.
Uh-huh. Right. Mistress handles all the business. Hell yeah.
Therefore, you're unaware and you're unbothered. You're unburdened, right? Like my dad, he talks about my oldest sister and me. He's like, I will say, fuck it, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, fuck you and fuck everybody you ever, like that's it. Like if it gets too frustrating, we won't do it. So he's got it on my younger sister and the middle one. You know, they're the ones in charge of everything because he knows we'll just be like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the house. I don't care about the what. We don't care about anything. In the end. So he needs some responsible souls to take care of that stuff. It's not us. What's up, Prince? It's always nice to see you, brother. We got off-grid tapes. Off-grid tapes. And he just rolled up a big one, man. I'll be right behind you. I'll be right. I was smoking a cigar, so I'll be right behind you. What's up, Bud Files? That's a big one, man.
It's okay. It's actually that's a really good one for me. I usually can't roll them straight at all, and they're usually really pregnant. But that's not bad. It's
Oh,
not
that's pretty
bad.
good, yeah. I don't roll them straight up tones.
Mm.
Like spliff, It's just the less steps, you know what I'm saying? Because the angle works for me. It works to my advantage. And I've been rolling since I was like 12. Everybody used to ask me until I was like 25, and I started telling people, now I'm going to teach you. I'm going to stop rolling for everybody in the world. Now, it
Right.
took me 10 years to get there. I have patience for that. I want everybody to enjoy their fucking herbs. So I have patience for certain things that I respect in life. But it's all about people's happiness, feelings, comfort, and all those good things, you know? It's not about money or those kind of shit, you know?
Hell no, it's not. Man, you're
Not for me.
crazy if you're thinking it. Yeah, not for
Well,
me either, man.
that's why my little sister's a good person to handle finances and shit, because she cares about that shit, you know?
Yeah, it's important to be able to balance everything.
I think it's important to, what's the word I want to use? I've said it before. Oh, I say it to Minnie all the time. To delegate responsibility. Give it to somebody who's qualified.
Because it ain't me.
Yeah. But I can see it. I recognize the talent in you. I'll use this, you know. We'll use this, right? But yeah, I don't have it.
I got a cousin, and his wife does all their finances, and she does bookkeeping for a living and stuff too.
Right,
And he totally trusts her 100% with everything.
right, right.
He never gets to see anything. But they're doing real well.
See, my wife, she forgets and she tries to play both sides. She wants to make it my responsibility. And then she'll say, I didn't know this because you didn't tell me. So then she'll feel left in the dark about it. And I'm like, you know, because you lead me to it, as I'm working all these 10 things that I'm juggling in finances in my mind out. You know what I mean? As I'm doing that, I'm sorry I forgot to tell you, because it's like you didn't ask. You actually asked me to take it over, you know? So it's a bit of a struggle, because she'll sometimes think, if I knew that, and it's like, yeah, if you knew that, nothing. It wouldn't have changed anything, and you know it. You know what I mean? But that's okay. We've been together for like 23 years. I got nothing bad to say. You know, but whatever she wants to do, man, she deserves it. So
That's a long time. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been finding some more like not mainstream movies. I'm pretty excited about like not these are like not common titles of a lot of these that I'm finding now.
yes,
Like
sir.
as the collection's growing, it's becoming less and less common titles.
That's how it goes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They used to have ads for like beta when it was new, and it used to say we have 52 titles available on beta. You know, it was like a big deal to like brag about that. You know what I mean? So probably the first 110 titles that ever made it to beta, I probably have on beta. You know what I mean? Like I
Huh.
just knew it. I was here for the video age, you know what I mean? And I knew it. So I always along the way kept my connections with those people, you know?
Well, like what's messed up is why didn't Beta win? I mean, it was dollars, right? But the ultimately was the deciding factor. But Beta was better because people couldn't see it that it was better on the screens that they had at the time.
Well, they could see it, and even on TV they would simulate it, right? Because the TV is only going to have the resolution that it has.
Yeah.
But Sony themselves, you know, it's the other companies. The other companies got together and said, you know, JVC is willing to license out the VHS logo. That's why you see that everywhere, that VHS logo, to anybody. Therefore,
Yeah.
they're good for business. Oh, there's this new business of renting tapes and selling tapes, and you know, JVC was all on it. They contacted the studios and said, "What can we put
Yeah.
on?" You know?
Yeah. And Betamax wouldn't do it, huh? They wouldn't let anybody else make their machines or
Anything
license
that
out
was
anything.
formatted that way. And I'm going to tell you something. That is a complicated machine. When you open it up and you look at the boards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
It's
9, 10,
yes,
11.
it's
You know,
I read that online that they are more complicated, a lot more complicated.
they are. And so, I mean, just looking at that, it's a grand mystery to me. But at the same time, like, I understand it is all about dollars. And if the other companies see what you're doing, you know, and they have longer recording times. Yeah, Beta used to talk about Beta 3 because you could put 3 hours on, but it would be
In
a
the beginning.
faster speed.
Initially, though, they ended up extending the playtime on betas to fit whole movies on a single tape, because
Yeah.
initially they couldn't. It was two tapes, right?
Well, a lot of those
Like
movies were two tapes. Yeah. So Beta 3, like I said, that was a big deal because it could take 3 hours.
yeah,
Um, But the other thing is, the weird part is they had VHS movie or the beta movies that came out sometimes have a longer cut than the VHS that came out later. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
VHS for home had a long recording time, terrible quality. You could watch 16 hours or 12 hours on a tape at SLP, but it's horrible quality, and
Oh man, some of them are just crap. I found well, like, I don't know. Lonesome Dove's a good example because it's like 5.5 hours long. They can put it
right,
either they can put it all on a single tape, or I
right,
have a 4 tape box set of the same thing. So
right.
the quality's higher on the 4 tape set than it is on the 1 tape.
Yeah, yeah, and they did that. All the double tapes have like a single tape version, pretty much, but it's the higher speed and it's lower quality. It's just a matter of space. You
Yeah.
got your lines are moving by, and as they move faster, you have less space to capture the information. So records are the same way. You can cut records faster or slower to make that groove longer. Like, but you'll lose
Oh,
the
I've seen
quality.
it.
So
Yeah, I've
yeah,
seen that on records too. On some
right.
records, the lines will be ultra fine, and on other ones they aren't.
And look at
Same
the ones
thing.
where they're ultra fine. They're collections of like nobody artists where they just put their one track together. That's what they are. So they're real cheap productions. They're budget productions. There's always
All
been
right,
level to every industry. It's
right.
pretty cool right now with like the cannabis stuff because a lot of people are selling minis for such a discount. I mean, it's the same bulk of weed. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird, but it's an aesthetic where people want big, huge buds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now they're coming up
Oh
with
yeah.
the middle level where you might even get the top quality buds, but they don't guarantee it. You know what I mean? So that way they can throw their less than picture perfect because people are crazy about picture perfect damn weed or weed with the best name or whatever. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Please be kind. What do you got there?
This
What
is
lights is it?
Friday
Oh
Night
yeah,
Lights with Billy Bob Thornton.
that's a killer movie, man.
Right. It's not that old one.
That's a killer movie, man. Yeah, Blockbuster. That was awesome, man.
Right. I was looking for one of their tapes right offhand, but it might take a second. A whole lot of these are Blockbuster though.
Yeah, me too, man. Now you're looking for them at thrift stores? Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, just don't pay more than $2, and then when you really really want a fucking tape, and $29 is the limit. That's you guys don't do that. I do that. But anyways, it used to be $74, but now it's 29. It means nothing to me because when I used to walk into a Suncoast Video, guess what those things cost? $25. So if I have to pay 29 for the best of the best right now, what do I care?
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
The VHS is cheap. Yeah, it has a good nostalgic feeling. I like the sound that the machine makes while it's playing the tape, and
yeah,
like everything about VHS, like it's good enough. Like I'm watching it on a 22-inch screen that's 720
right.
capable screen, and it's a little flat screen, and it looks great on there. Like
P.S.
I
Joe
can
sell you the real. Oh yeah, he wants the real one, and I told him that's why I know it's not real. I said if it was, I would
oh
have it.
Kazam, oh
Yeah,
Kazam.
or
I've
Shazam or
seen it.
whatever it is. Yeah,
I haven't found it yet. Yeah, I haven't found it yet. Is it Shazam or Kazam or yeah
whatever.
Shazam?
The fictional one with Sinbad. Sinbad played like a genie character for like 2 minutes in a commercial. Like a bumper for a TV
Yeah, yeah,
channel. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's one source. Now, this is the part that kills me. He says it's Mandela, but this is the part that kills me. In season 2 of Different World, Sinbad is working as a like a fucking he works in the dorms or whatever. He's a dorm coordinator. He said something. Um, he just said one offhand comment about a dude that they were talking about who had left presence. I can't remember why, but he said something like, "Or he's a huge Shazam fan." That blows my mind a little bit because he just said that from out of nowhere and it had no context to anything. Or he's just a huge Shazam fan. I guarantee you'll find that out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's weird.
It's out there.
But the rest of it, nah, I'd have it if it was there. What's
I'm
up,
excited.
Cowboy?
I'm excited about this second copy of the Sandlot that I found.
Right, right.
I was just the right age when this movie came out. That I was like the same age as the little kids in this movie when it was made.
For
and
sure, for sure.
and I already had the clamshell one, the the normal whatever clamshell, but I
Right,
found the paper sleeve version. So I'm like,
right, right.
hell yeah, because
Yeah,
I like these
that's
ones
one of those.
better.
See the top. It's one of those collections, like the Warner Brothers
Oh yeah,
selections or whatever it is.
says family feature.
There you go.
Yeah,
So that's one of their
20th century
collection
family.
series that they did because they got a lot of people to get into those series because through mail order. You know what I mean? Because they just tell them,
Oh yeah.
there's 20 more of these, and those people would be like, "Oh, okay, I'll take 4." You know what I mean? It just kept building, kept building.
Is
Those
that
were
how
the
they did
days, man.
the westerns too? I see these ones that say like Western Classic or whatever, and there's like a whole bunch of them. Like I don't know.
That's a little bit different. That's because they were saving stuff from film. So that's a little bit different. That's like their archive thing, because those
Let's
were
see if
never
I.
on tape previously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not originally recorded
I'm
on tape.
definitely. I told you I watched Deadlock. This probably not in this box, but I'm definitely going to send you the Hitcher eventually. You got this one. This is definitely the first version. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here we go. Here's another one of those like kind of like you were saying. This one's called Selections or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same 20th Century Fox, but it's Selections.
Well, the other one was Warner Brothers. You just had.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah. The one you just had was Warner Brothers.
Which one was
Yeah,
it?
that's the
Shit.
case. I told you about that, right? I told you that I met Christy Swanson, and that was somebody you could barely look at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like because of her
you did?
presence.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's really
yeah, dude.
cool.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
amazing. It was amazing. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, that's my wife too, man. She loved that movie. I don't know how old you are, Alfred, but for her, it hit her. I don't know if she was the right age or not, but
Yeah, I'm 40.
right, she's like 44.
Right. Just a little older. Yeah, still though, like just a little older than the kid. Maybe the same age as the older kid.
Right, right. Yeah, she loved that movie, man. Now, being a bit older and being through all this stuff, I'm like, oh, it's like another version of like Bad News Bears, but for the new generation, like that. That's what I saw.
All right.
See, Prince, yeah, Prince, you got it. Prince is younger, man. It's a classic. Yep. Yeah, you can always get those "You're Killing Me" Smalls like T-shirts. They're fucking funny, dude. But yeah,
Yeah,
watch the case, and yeah, she had real long hair when I met her, but oh my goodness, you can barely look at her.
that's funny.
Thanks for coming in, y'all. Hey, William, share it again, man. 45 this June. Yep, yep, yep. So my wife, she did turn 45. I'm fudging that a little bit. I said she's about 44. She turned 45.
Oh, it was a Sandlot. No, it was a 20th Century Fox family feature. Family
Oh,
feature.
okay. All right, my mistake. Oh, my mistake. Okay, the yellow got me. I was thinking I was looking at Warner Brothers. My bad. Angels in the
Yeah, it was.
outfield.
Right, that's a good one. I think I have that movie. I'm pretty sure. I think I watched it too since I bought it.
So like I look for certain, like you said, that I look for the non-mainstream production companies. That's where I started. So stuff that'll be IVE, that's International Video Entertainment, Live Entertainment, the Vidmark, Trimark, all the little mid brands.
Oh yeah,
That's my stuff.
that's a really fun
USA.
movie. Yeah, I've got it in a clamshell. The Angels in the Outfield.
There you go. Awesome, man.
Right. I knew I had it. That's a good one. Hell yeah. That's a fun
You're
movie.
30 in your head. There you go. That's cool. Yep, he's got Angels in the Outfield right there, man, in the clamshell. There you go. So you got a match in clamshell. You got both of those. I bought my
Yeah.
daughter so many classic fucking Disney that it's crazy. I got her beta and VHS all in clamshells. Somebody on Amazon was selling them in bundles of like 14 each. And you couldn't pick the titles, but I just got a bunch of them. You know what I mean? So my daughter has all the classic stuff that they made in the 60s and whatnot. It's all been cut. But since she's got it on beta, she's got the originals. Yeah, Toy Soldiers. That blew my mind. Fresh Prince, Toy Soldiers. That was awesome, bro. That's in my age. That's in my wheelhouse. Yeah, but I had my sisters 10 and 12 years older than me, so I got a lot of influence from them. I got to be ahead of the other kids, you know, because they were already doing stuff. I got to be an 80s kid though. I was born in 1978. I got to enjoy the entire 80s. You know what I mean? I knew what was
All
up.
right.
I knew what was up.
2 years younger than my big sister.
84, I was already on a skateboard. 86, I had a real one. I had to wait to get a real one. But yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing, man. Reservoir Dogs, killer movie, man. Killer movie.
Yeah.
Those guys who produce Reservoir Dogs, you know, Tarantino and his buddy, right? They worked in the boutique video store. I can't remember exactly where it is. I want to say like Sepulveda or so. So like suburban LA, you could say. So they worked in like the boutique video store in suburban LA. So they were already local celebrities because people, you know, you're talking about right around the film industry and the business, you know. So the people that were coming there were huge and connected and needed to watch all the obscure films. So those dudes were already famous. You have
Right.
recycle bins full of martial arts. Yeah, martial arts was killer, man. My favorite movie, it's
Absolutely.
called
Let's
The
see.
Amsterdam Connection. I think I'm gonna send that too, man. It's The Amsterdam Connection. That's my favorite kung fu movie.
Oh,
But yeah,
good
kung
night.
fu was a big deal, man.
Good night, hobo.
Hey, good night, hobo. See you later. I'm having a great conversation.
Yeah.
Labyrinth. All the ladies
I,
love Labyrinth. There we go.
yeah, I have a copy of that.
I watched Labyrinth in the movie theater. That's how old I am. It came out the same time as Phenomenon, which was Creepers here, which is so they shot in the same year with Jennifer Connelly in both. And I watched Creepers because my sister worked at the movie theater. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let me in. You know what I mean? But I watched it for free. That was really awesome. Yeah. She was such, you know, I did the same thing, man. She ran to work as soon as she could, like 13, 14 years old. I did the same thing. I started it like younger, you know? But it's such a foolish thing to do because you should be focusing on your school and forget about making little money because you might be making little money for the rest of your life. You see, you don't want to get in that trap. It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it to flash around. This was the '80s, but to flash around $12 on the weekend and be like, I can go to the mall. I'm big, you know, I'm a big boy.
Huh.
It's a fool's errand, man. You might be making small money forever.
I found
Do
a.
we
I
watch Kill
found a.
Tony? I used to watch Kill Tony. I kind of hate Kill Tony. I kind of always did, but at the same time, it's interesting. Gang tapes, scary, man.
I found gang tapes.
Yeah,
It's
that
why.
doesn't even have a company. No, it does. It's Lionsgate. Yep.
Yeah.
So that girlfriend that took me to those couple of movies, every Lionsgate she took me to.
Right. I remember seeing that title when I was a kid or something somewhere. I remember seeing it. Maybe my
It's
sister rented it.
it's, it's blatant and spooky, man. This one, they told me it was on HBO. See, because it is HBO, you know. But they told me when I was a kid, don't watch this shit. Don't watch it. I fucking watched it. I shouldn't have. It's horrible. It's still horrible. When I watch it now, I get creeped out. So I'm gonna watch it one
Oh,
more time and send it to you. But it is really extreme, you know. And so they
nice.
told me don't watch it. I didn't listen. Growing up, I
Yep.
used to watch The Exorcist all the time, but it was like a dare. I would run in and out of the room. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't like just sit there.
This is one of my new ones I found. It's called Jane Doe with Callista Lockhart.
Right, right. Oh, I have that. She's a prostitute. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, like
fantastic movie. Yep.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, it says best feature.
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
so about her living on this in New York City or something. Like,
it's somewhat. I don't know who wrote that, but it's somewhat like the Hubert Shelby Jr. Movies or whatever. Like there's like 3 or 4 of those. One of them is Requiem for a Dream that most people saw that he wrote. But yeah, that right there. Oh, Between Two Ferns, I love. Yes, I love that. You don't particularly like him. You like to hate on him, but you still like him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I like watching stand up too. And of course, it's the most random and pure version of amateurism anyway. So it's funny whether it's funny or not. But yeah, there's a lot of mean spirited stuff. That's what turns me off because they really are hateful. I mean, to be honest, I'll tell you, like Red Band, I think is a good guy, and he's always been on his own channel here, so you can literally go hang out with him, even though it didn't matter. He didn't give a shit how big he got or whatever. He still hangs out with the people and plays fucking video games and talks to the chat. That's a cool guy. But a lot of them are more mean spirited, I think. Karen, what's up, Poppy Carl? Poppy Carl, you hungry for some fruits? Mycelial fruits? Cheers, Off Grid. I'm almost done with this one.
oh yeah, right on. Oh yeah. With the packet one up, I'll pack another one up.
Yeah, sometimes, man, you should grab a tape, put it up, and do like a synopsis. Because, like I said, you've been reading the backs before of things you haven't seen yet. But after you
Yeah.
see it, maybe you could do a rundown.
Yeah, I should.
Did you ever get to finishing Ghost Dog?
Yeah. I finished Ghost Dog. I watched it twice.
Right on, right on. That's a nice ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually convincing. I was convinced. At first, I was skeptical that he could do that role, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
You look at Forrest
was
Whitaker. You look at
it
like
was
maybe the role he did before. He might have been playing a 40-year-old. This one, he could have got away with saying he was like 19, 20 years old. It's amazing what he did.
yeah.
And he's mainly a director. He's not mainly an actor.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was well done. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's Jim Jarmusch. He makes fairly interesting ones. Coffee and Cigarettes is a really good one he did because it's got all kinds of actors and creatives, but it's just little vignettes, so it's spread out and like there's just really awesome sequences. And then Night on Earth is a sequence of taxi rides all around the world in the same night. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
That sounds cool.
Night on Earth, man. I got the soundtrack for that too. That's great because it's all Tom Waits.
Man, I haven't never seen this one. It's a film by Henry Bromell called Panic with William H. Macy, Nev Campbell, Tracy Ullman, and Donald Sutherland.
Right?
Like, I've never seen this before, but I picked it up.
Oh yeah, I got that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Nev Campbell in that. I like Nev Campbell in that movie. That's a good movie.
Right, I thought it looked like a good title.
Oh yeah, William H. Macy, he's pretty safe. I don't think he's been in a bad movie.
Yeah.
And sometimes the more indie, the better, What's this one? Oh man. I can't remember. There's this one where they're trying to get some like stashed heist stuff, that they find out from prison. I'm trying to. Oh, it's called Welcome to Collinwood. Welcome to Collinwood. That's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. But if you just look up William H. Macy on Fargo, obviously. But if you just look him up on IMDb, like you're not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
The Cooler.
Right.
The Cooler. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, is that a TV series?
No, it's a movie with William H. Macy. It's about him.
Movie.
He's employed by a casino because he's like terminally bad luck. So they just have him sit at the table, and whoever was on a streak starts losing. And he's a loser in all aspects of his life. And it's called The Cooler because he cools down the hot table.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man. Yeah, he plays like a beat down character so well. So in Welcome to Collinwood, he's a single dad with this little baby, and they're trying to do this heist, and they're jacking him around everywhere, and they fuck up everything, and they wake up the baby, and he's like, "Don't wake up the baby!" He's always a beat down character. Yeah, Shameless, right, right. Shit's funny, man, and I feel him. You know what I mean? Because I've been that dad with the babies, man. I hate it, man. You know why? Because anytime you took them out to do something important, you put them up on your knee to sit there in the bleachers or whatever. I hate babies. I especially like 3-year-olds and stuff because they're so fragile anyway. But what they do, they sit. You're like you have to go sit in the bleachers. You put them on, and they'll shift their damn body out of their diaper and piss all over your knee, and then you got to deal with it. They move the diaper to do it. Good luck with that one, Care Bear. You got twins. Good luck with that game. Man, I've been pissed on every time we went out with one of them. Or at least once each.
They get some. I got one. Oh, my cat was alerting. I did.
Right.
I set 4 mouse traps right outside the door, and I got one.
Oh, cool.
All right. Nailed
That's
one.
awesome.
Cool. Real fat one.
You don't have any snakes to feed it to, do you?
I hope. Well, there are definitely snakes out there for sure. I don't know. They're probably not really active at night though right now, just because the temps are still low at night, or at least not for
Right.
very long. Maybe for 20 minutes or something, 30 minutes at night. But yeah, they're probably going to bed early.
You're
When it
potty
gets
training
warmer
right
though.
now? Cool.
When it gets warmer, they'll be up all night. The snakes.
They'll be out, yeah. Yeah, you can probably just toss it at that point and somebody will get it.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully it's a bull snake, right?
Yeah, what do you have? What's your, dangerous snake where you're at?
We got these we have Western Diamondbacks, but they're real rare for here. They're mostly on the other side of the Rio Grande, and
Okay.
but we have these prairie rattlers. They're like Western prairie rattlers or something, and they only get up to about 2 feet long, and
Yeah.
a big one's probably like an inch and a half wide, maybe inch and a quarter or something. It'd be a pretty fat one.
So their head may be the size of a walnut max.
Yeah, about.
And they can attack about 4 or 5 feet, even though they're 2 feet long. That's something you need to be sure to understand, right? They can do that. Yeah.
They
Okay.
can strike. Yeah, at least their body length. Yeah, when they're coiled up, yep, they could totally easily strike their body length if they want.
So yeah, we had I saw one in the wild copperhead where I grew up, and that was just a trip. It was awesome to see it. Its body structure, and it wasn't a threat because it was on a big stretch of blacktop where it was about to die. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was beautiful to see its body structure. What do you got there? Tails?
Yeah, some rattlesnake rattles.
You do have rattles? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got all 3 of the ones that have come around here. They don't leave here once they come here. I got animals and stuff, my chickens, whatever. But that's all that there's been since I lived here in 7.5 years. Is 3.
That's so awesome.
And that's all the bigger the rattles get, Or I mean, that's so far.
Right.
So they're not they're not crazy. But they're little snakes. Maybe they can get bigger than 2 feet. But yeah, 3 feet would be a huge one. Maybe 30 inches.
Right. And if they've got like a jaw of, less than 2 inches, then they can bite probably like maybe 3-4 inches worth. So
yeah, they don't really want to mess with us, but they're just. I can't have them around here with my dogs and stuff and the chickens, and it's just we just can't have them.
Yeah, well, they can't tell you they got hit, and then you don't know what kind of poison they're dealing with. You know what I mean? So it's a different story.
Yeah.
If I got hit by a rattlesnake, I could go tell you, and we could deal with it. The
Right.
animals can't tell you. So.
Right, I got bit by that thing. All right, because I'm gonna find out what bit me after he bit me. Right, I don't think I just run away. I don't think I gotta get eyeballs at least on what got me.
Yep. Maybe grab a piece of scalp.
Yeah, might take him out. I just might. Yep.
I don't have enough time to make a vaccine, but we'll go look.
But yeah, it didn't have any for 6 years. I think these have all been in the last couple of years. Like,
Yeah.
whatever reason.
So that's approximately how long you've been there? 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you still like driving trucks and pursuing your career when you moved, or is a separate time?
I went back to it once, driving trucks over the
Okay.
road, driving semis. One time since I've been back here, and it didn't take me too long to remember why I didn't do it.
Right. I hear you.
It didn't take too long.
Right. I hear you.
I was gone for a few months, and then I was like, yeah, that's why I don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Not everything for
They,
everybody, man.
you never know. Yeah, and they don't around here. A lot of times these snakes don't. They don't alert. They don't rattle their
Yeah.
rattles. They just be sitting there quiet, looking at you, like, just like, is he
Yeah.
gonna do anything? Just looking at you. They're not even rattling. You're like, you're already within feet of them. They're all coiled up already.
15, 20 to get to the grocery store. So what? On foot, and then you're walking by. Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes. And you're walking by those
Right.
dangers.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
See them
And
every once in a while.
right here, we don't have any. If I
The
was back
Western
in Maryland, we
Diamondbacks,
would.
the Western Diamondbacks over on the east side of the mountains here always rattle. Like if you're walking through the tall grass over there at the base of the mountains and stuff, those snakes rattle, and all you have to do is turn and go a different way, and you're fine.
Right,
That's all we always did. We hear a
and then
rattle,
they stop.
we divert, and then there'd be another rattle we'd hear, and so we'd turn a different direction, and we'd just avoid the rattles while we were walking through the grass.
And
But they all
they
rattle.
stop to let you know you're walking out
Right?
of
You're going the
danger.
right way. You're going away.
Yeah,
Yeah. When they
yeah,
stop rattling. Yeah. The other ones. Yep.
yeah.
They
Because the
were
only
just
thing,
telling.
growing up where I did, I just knew if you're near the water, or you're near or you're in like the roots and grass, tall grass kind of stuff, then you need to look. But other places we could navigate all day. If there was a snake, he was a snake in danger.
Right. Here sometimes they don't alert. I don't know if it's because they're too tired or if they're just evolving to like not rattle.
Right.
They're
Being
not
more
sure.
stealth.
They think it might be prey. They're like, oh, it might be prey. So they don't
Right.
rattle.
No one heads to where you grew up unless they're hiking or camping. Yeah, I know. It's so funny when people are like, "Hey, this is my holiday," and you're like, "Your holiday is like work for people around here," like trudging through, and it's like I find that really funny because the people like flock there and spend money to do things that other people are like, "Wish I didn't have to do that 3 times a week over here," It's crazy. It's crazy, man. They've had like sort of wellness gymnasium centers where people used to go to get beat up because they didn't get beat up enough in real life. It's wild. How you doing, Anthony? Cheers, bro. Always see you in Off Grid's chat, man. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that he's up. Off Grid tapes.
I don't know. I'm have one of the largest collections in my area. I don't know. I don't know
I
how
bet
many
you
more
do.
bigger ones there are.
I bet you do, man. I bet you do. Yeah, you would have no clue, but I have no clue how massive mine is. It is over 10,000.
Oh, it'd be crazy
Yeah, I have no
to see
clue.
it all of yours organized in one place. It'd be crazy. I saw a photo today from this guy, Video Tasties, that does VHS movie reviews or whatever, and
Right,
he's
right.
British, but he
Yo,
showed
Kevin.
his attic. He showed his attic today in a picture, And there was totally like 2,000 or 3,000 tapes in the picture, easy.
Right. Yep. Yeah, my son's room here in the middle. He didn't live with us when we first moved here, so it was a storage room, and so he still has 7,000 VHS tapes in that room. You know what I mean? When he moved in too, we were like, you can bring a computer, a TV, and a backpack. And he was like, and a chair, and we're like, and a chair. But we now have a huge storage place, and all we're gonna do is get a bigger one because my father has to sell the house. That cause since my mother died, and he can't live there, he needs assisted living. Even though we're gonna see him tomorrow, he's got 40 minutes, or else I gotta call another ride home, straight up. If we don't get things done quick enough, he can't do it because he's got severe neuropathy in his hands and feet. He should not be driving, but that's not my fucking business. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's not my business. So.
Yeah, it hurts him.
But yeah, he must still have 7,000 in there. We got a huge storage unit, and we're just gonna get a bigger one. We're literally gonna get the carnival size one, which is like a 10 by 30.
It's like for RVs, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's for like a carnival or a tour, basically. Like they only have a few of them over here, but I'll get one. I'll get one. You're doing well tonight. Awesome. What's up, Chairman? I said hi, yeah. He had to jump through hoops to get a birth certificate. Oh my gosh, I hate all of that. He passed away the same day as Tom Petty. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, so our my mother's house is literally across the street from where my storage is. My son and I could walk it with hand carts back and forth if we have to. Just has to be decent weather. So, but yeah, it's not full, but it's half full what we have now, and once it gets bigger. And I've got a bunch staged like in boxes ready to be moved, but I'm gonna do my kid's room, my son's room, and one corner of my wife's room, and then I'm calling up these moving guys that I know because they're really pretty terrible, but they're very cheap, and I just call the owner. So you have to box up your own stuff. Don't have them come here and try to box up your stuff because you're gonna have them knocking stuff all over, wasting time, blah blah blah. So I'll just have to have enough boxes here on the ground ready to go. So when I hit like 16, 22 boxes somewhere in that range right now, it's all going. It's all going. And you can do your math on how much square footage that is. We have a lot of stuff.
Right? Yeah. My tapes are already taking up a lot of cubic feet. If you looked at it that way, yeah, they
Right.
keep
Yeah.
they
Right.
keep
Right.
taking up more space. Every one is like somebody could probably do the calculation.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's why
Yeah.
video stores initially they would just put two by fours up because they fit the tapes perfectly. You just space them apart.
That's
Yeah.
what I put. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please. I'm talking to Off Grid over here. Yeah, please come on. Um, yeah. So they used to put that in the back to protect the tapes and put the empty boxes up front. You know, but it takes up so much extra space. Hi. That they figured, hey, there's no loss in the space here. We don't have space anymore, so they just put the tapes on the shelves like that.
Yeah,
He
that's
visits
all I
you in
did
his
was
dreams a lot. Well, that's good. So he's still there with you. It was just the way he would have wanted it. Yeah, yeah. My mother too. It's the way she would have wanted it. It was only a few minutes. That's the way she would have wanted it. And she was on vacation on her way to go on stage at the Grand Ole Opry, so she was looking forward. And she didn't miss out because she's done it twice before, so she didn't miss out either. Hey, I gotta get going now. I didn't know I would have to write so quick, but I do. We got to catch up. Your girls see him? They might. They might. So I'm sorry, Off Grid, that I have to get down, but we did near an hour, man. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Cheers, Joe.
I appreciate you. Don't be a stranger. Email me. Let's keep in touch.
You bet.
All right. See ya,
Good night.
and look forward to some tapes in the mail.
Peace.
Peace.